Hey guys, by now you know this is the home edition of the real estate market updates for Panama City Beach and 38. I'm Craig Duran with the Duran Group over at Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices. Let's get right to some numbers I think that are pretty interesting to look at. Back to this showing time report. This again, remember this is updating us on how many showing appointments are actually being set in the state of Florida. Well, I think what's most interesting about this is for the last 2.5 weeks, we've held pretty steady. We might have dropped a little bit if you get really hyper analytical. We dropped a little further at this point. We've actually picked up a little bit in the last few days. But when you compare it to the previous 2.5 weeks when coronavirus pandemic really hit national news, you can see that we've sort of adjusted to what our new normal looks like. And if you look at some of the numbers, it's really reflected in our local market. If we're looking, this is numbers out on 30A. 2 weeks ago, we were off on new contracts written about 80%, but last week we were only down about 67%. Maybe we're bouncing around this new normal for a little while. If you look at the Panama City Beach homes market, similar story. We were off about 56%. Now we're off about 70% in another given week. New contracts written in the condo market. That's really jumped around quite a bit because we were off about 72% 3 weeks ago. Last week, 2 weeks ago, we were about 38% off. We wrote some more contracts that week, and then the next week down about 79%. Of course, very generally speaking, I think those are some encouraging numbers in a couple of ways. Easter weekend traditionally can be a little bit slow. The actual days of Easter weekend, like Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, traditionally can be a little bit slower for real estate, although things normally would pick up right afterwards. We would expect our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday following Easter week traditionally to be very busy with writing contracts with a lot of people in town. So it'll be interesting to see if numbers kind of perk up a little bit this week like they normally would. I'm suspecting maybe not as much. Obviously, we probably don't have as many people in town as we normally would. However, I'm encouraged in a few ways. Again, I worked in the business all week, and again, just one agent in the business in the Panhandle, and we've had a couple listings come in. So we've got a condo over at Splash that we're putting on the market, a nice end unit, lockout unit over there. Wrote another contract this week. Had a negotiation go on. I think this was kind of interesting. We've got a seller who is priced really in line with the market, had a buyer that was pretty interested in the property. And we got about this close, and the buyer didn't want to go any forward because the buyer was nervous about the market pulling back. The seller is pretty confident that their product in their location and their condition is very good and doesn't see the need to have to negotiate any. So I think it's obvious that we're going to have a variety of opinion on what people think the market may do. I think one thing that you can take from some of the numbers in here is that we've adjusted down. Obviously, we're a little slower, but we're not completely closed. You see, all of us are getting a little creative as far as arranging for showing appointments. There's different ways to do that, whether it's virtual. If you're not in town, we can go over and take some videos for you. We're arranging for virtual open houses, things like that. Of course, signing documents has always been easy with electronic signatures, and buyers are putting normal contingencies in on inspections and things like that. So business is, again, I think what I take from this week, and maybe it's that we've been in this for a while now, is that we've sort of, I feel like the market has adjusted to our normal, what it's going to look like. And so the people who are moving, the people who are, believe it or not, thinking about a vacation rental or a second home, there's still 3 in 10, 4 in 10 of those people that normally would be doing business are out there having closings, making offers, things like that. And what will be very interesting to see, and I think depends a lot on timing, will be how many people are sitting on the sidelines waiting and are quickly going to come back into the market once things are really officially open, whatever that's going to look like. So in the meantime, we'll keep you updated. If you have any questions on how this may affect you buying or selling, please reach out, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. I think the most interesting thing for anybody thinking about selling this year I mentioned it last week, is that idea of playing around with some coming soon marketing. Go ahead and get marketing in place now, and talk to your agent about how you're going to time the release of it, whether you use the coming soon idea, which I think is a really great way to test the market and to release it, especially during this time. If you're not going to go that route, at least get everything in order so that whenever you do think it's the right time, you're ready to go and you're not waiting another week or two to get something ready to release to the market. Hope you guys find this stuff helpful. We'll be in touch. Stay safe and be well.